Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And as you come in, I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me all right. And also, don't forget this podcast is on Spotify. So if you go to Spotify and look up Boyce Watkins, you will find a couple of podcasts that I do on a regular basis. One of the things I want to do is put more money in your pocket. So let's jump into it. It looks like today's going to be a bad day for the stock market. I hate to say this. I thought that today might be a good day because sometimes the good days follow the bad, but this is not one of those days, at least so far. Right now, before markets open, it looks like they're going to open even lower than they were on Friday, which is indicative of significant problems related to tariff uncertainty, primarily caused by the Trump administration. And so ultimately, it is one of these things where it's getting dark in the market. That does not mean it's going to be dark forever. That does not mean you should get scared and sell everything. It does not mean you should run away from the stock market. Let's just be clear about that. But it does mean that you're going to go through, just some interesting stuff. So I'll say good morning to Karen and Dizzy husband Marquise. Let's see. Somebody said something about Marquise said something about the Zoom. Zoom don't sign no more for me. Well, if you want to get an invitation and you want to come into our morning class, make sure you're on the text list. Text the word morning to the number 87948. Text morning to 87948, and you can join Money in the Morning. We're going to do that a little bit later. All right. So can you guys hear me okay? Give me a quick yes. Let me know you can hear me okay. And then, then we can continue. A few things you should know about right now. The big piece of information that's going to really be released, that's going to rock the markets and make a move is Trump has a day coming up. I can't remember if he calls it Freedom Day or Liberation Day or something stupid like that. But it's a day where he's going to announce all these tariffs. That it's not so bad that there are tariffs. It's really more so a matter of how the tariffs are rolled out. And I'm going to tell you, I don't approve of the way they're being rolled out. I think they're being rolled out in a way that creates more confusion than anything else. And so ultimately, this is going to happen this week. Liberation Day. Thank you, Audra. That's what it is. And Danielle, the number is right there on the screen for you. I see you're looking for that number to join the class. And so Liberation Day, which to me just is a reflection of Trump's pomposity. He's very pompous, very arrogant guy, probably a narcissist. And I say this as a person who doesn't vote Democrat or Republican. I just don't like the politicians. I don't think the politicians are going to make your life better. Honestly, I just don't believe that. However, everybody should be critiqued. Everybody. I don't care how much you like the person. So whether you like Trump or not, this is a mistake he's making. He's at risk of really being remembered as one of the worst presidents of all time if this tariff thing goes bad, because because the tariffs are going to cause inflation, and the uncertainty is going to cause a recession. And so you could have inflation and a recession at the same time. We've talked about that a little bit before. Now, in terms of other things happening this week, there is a big jobs report that's coming out. That's going to be a big deal. And also, Elon Musk and Tesla are about to make some announcements on their numbers for the quarter, which is a big deal because Musk is a guy who's lost a lot of economic value in his companies because of his political involvement. I personally think that it's worth buying the dip, though. I think that Tesla long term is going to be a major player when it comes to the robots and everything else. And I wouldn't ignore that. I wouldn't just sit and let the politics stop you from participating. If he's going to make money, you might as well get some of that too. But that's up to you to decide how to participate. I'm not telling you what to do. I do not give investing advice ever. One other thing about this tariff thing is that it does create uncertainty for the Federal Reserve. They're sitting back and they're trying to figure out what to do, how to respond to not. It's not so much that they're responding to the tariffs; they're responding to the uncertainty. They don't know. They're like, okay, do we increase interest rates, to deal with inflation, or do we reduce interest rates to deal with the downturn? But reducing interest rates can be inflationary, so that's an issue. So one of the things I mentioned to you all before is I'm going to start buying some bond funds and diversify out a little bit into that space. I'll probably do that maybe today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to text out a list of different bond funds that I like. So make sure you get on the text list, and I'll send that to you today. Just text the word morning to the number 87948. It's right there on the screen, and you can also join our morning class. Also, those who are in the morning class, you get an exclusive invitation to our Economic Elevation Summit in Miami, which is May 9th and 10th. And that's where wealth builders get together to plan the future. That's where we plan the future of our community and of our families. And also, we just break down the most direct ways to build wealth. So get on the text list. I'll send that link out to you guys for the Economic Elevation Summit, which is going to be May 9th and 10th. What else is happening? Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And I hope you'll subscribe to the podcast on Spotify too. It's good. I think you're going to like it. All right. So here, right now, one of the stat, I didn't know this, is that global markets have actually had the worst month since the COVID recovery. That's a big deal. So it says here, stock indices worldwide have gone down. So global stock markets all around the planet have actually dropped, and that's a problem. And this is most of it's due to fears of a global trade war. Usually, when you declare war on somebody, they declare war on you. You punch them, they're going to punch back. So even though Europe can't really punch back at the United States as hard as we can punch them, they're going to punch. They're not punks. Canada's really fighting. Mexico's trying to negotiate. And it's really a tough situation because America's the boss. As much as, some people don't want to accept that, America has really been very economically beneficial as a trading partner for a lot of these countries. And a lot of this, I think, really goes back to World War II, where we just kind of are like, look, just let us make money in your country and we'll give you defense and we'll give you all these other things. But I still think overall, though, that this trade war is probably the greatest threat to economic stability that we've seen in a while. The bond market is already starting to react. Treasury yields have jumped to a multi-month high. It basically, as traders are pricing in the higher inflation that's going to be caused by the tariffs. But it's interesting because sometimes the yields go down because the bond prices go up because everybody wants to buy bonds. So it's kind of an awkward sort of relationship there. And a lot of companies, Walmart, Home Depot, and Ford, have issued public statements and adjusted their forecast. They're warning their investors that they're going to have challenges with the supply chain because of these tariffs and things like that. They won't mention President Trump directly, but they're all thinking the same thing. They just right now we kind of have this sort of gangster president that that people don't want to piss off, and so I believe that what they're doing is they're all trying to play nice with Trump, but they're sitting back and trying to politely say to him, like, look, bro, stop it. Please stop trying to please stop please stop doing these things that are going to slow down the economy. And I want to show you all right now, Dow futures, which is an indicator of what the stock market is going to do today. Dow futures are negative right now. It is 300 points down, and ultimately today, so far in the morning, is not going to be a good morning in terms of stocks. And like you read here on CNBC, it says U.S. stock futures fell Monday as traders look ahead to Liberation Day for clarity on President Trump's tariff plans. Futures tied to the Dow dropped 326 points. A slew of tariffs previously announced by the Trump administration will go into effect on Wednesday, what Trump has called Liberation Day, including a 25% levy on, quote, all cars that are not made in the United States, end quote. The president's also expected to announce his plan for reciprocal duties aimed at countries that impose tariffs on U.S. imports. Uncertainty surrounding tariffs has weighed on equities, dragging stocks lower on Friday to end the last full trading week of March. Trump did little to assuage fears over the weekend, with the Wall Street Journal reporting Sunday that the president had in recent days pushed his advisors to get more aggressive when it comes to tariffs. In a Saturday interview with NBC News, Trump said that he could care less if foreign automakers raise their prices due to these new tariffs. Auto stocks were lower on Monday. Ford and GM were down around 1%. What's really interesting, and this is something that's important to point out about tariffs, is that if it's a matter of of Trump protecting U.S. industries by putting these tariffs on other countries, then you would expect that American automakers would see an increase in their stock price, right? You would expect Ford to benefit from protecting the economy from foreign cars. You would see GM benefit from that. What I think makes it difficult is that the supply chains for these companies are very complex. They get a lot of parts from other places, and that's going to increase the prices of those parts. Now, what is a good long-term strategy, a good thing that could come from the tariffs if they were done consistently and effectively? The U.S. government is not very consistent with anything. Just go back and read about the fall of Saigon, how we just abandoned the Vietnamese in the middle of the war, like because we're just a bunch of punks in that way. We don't really stick to stuff. The only thing America stuck to consistently is racism. That's the only thing that they've been consistent about. But anyway, if they were consistent about tariffs, then they could incentivize foreign companies and American companies to make products in the United States and create American jobs. I'd be willing to tolerate a little more inflation if that meant more jobs. I didn't like all the automobile jobs, leaving the United States and all that. I kind of feel like that hurt a lot of people, and I think ultimately that could be a benefit of tariffs, but you won't get that benefit. But right now you're getting all the pain, but you won't get much of the gain. Let's see, who was the lady burned on the New York subway train? Yeah, I don't know. I that's not in the scope of this discussion, but my heart goes out to that poor lady. That was absolutely terrible. Dr. B, can you mention a few bond stocks to invest in? Yeah, Latanya, I'll send out a list today. I have a list. I don't have any that come to mind immediately, but I have some that I like, and I'll text that out to you guys. Make sure you get on the text list. Text the word morning to 87948, and I'll send it out to everybody on that list. Morning to the number 87948 on your phone. Also, if you like stock options and you want to join the next cohort of our coin investors network, just go to drboycecoin.com and you can talk to someone about participating in that. A lot of people like it so far, so I'm going to keep on doing it. Since you guys like it, then I'm going to keep delivering that. So ultimately, in terms of what's happening right now, you have you have just a market that could keep going down. I think that buying some put options on the stocks that you own is a good move. I also think that buying the dip could be a good move long term. It may not be a move that's going to show results in the first week or two, though, and that's a big mistake a lot of people make. They think that if they make the right investing decision, it's going to be something that shows up, in their bank accounts in a week or two, and it just doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it takes a year or two for the move to actually make sense, or maybe 3 years, 4 years. So don't think that it's supposed to happen in a week. A lot of people think that, and that's just the wrong way to kind of look at it. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to pop in real quick and talk to you guys about what's going on with this market. The sectors that are most likely to be hit based on my research from the tariffs are automotive sectors, because we have a lot of Mexican auto parts, retail and consumer goods. So Walmart, Target, Dollar Tree, big importers from China are going to be hit by these tariffs. Also, tech companies, Apple, Dell, semiconductor firms may have some problems because the Chinese government doesn't play. They're gonna retaliate, and that could be an issue. The sectors most likely to benefit from the tariffs are U.S. based domestic manufacturers like U.S. steel, aluminum, and parts manufacturers, companies like Nucor, etc. Energy, oil and gas, they tend to outperform when inflation goes up. So energy stocks may be something to look into. So and by the way, for those of you that are looking for that number, I'm gonna put that on the screen so you guys have it. Give me 1 second here. All right. So so not everybody is going to be hurt by what Trump is doing. Just be clear. It's not hurting everybody. In addition to that, defense and aerospace companies are typically protected from the effects of tariffs, but may actually benefit if you start to see global tensions sort of rise. Companies like Lockheed Martin, they benefit from war and animosity and people hating each other and all that. And the Europeans now are building missiles and putting billions of dollars into defense, and that's going to be interesting to see how this new world order sort of gets reestablished. So ultimately, I would say that perhaps some bear spreads, if you're an options investor. Some bear spreads might be beneficial if you think that things are going to go down. If you are bullish, you might look at a company like Nucor, which the ticker's NUE, or U.S. Steel, which is X. That's the ticker. So somebody asked about what about X stock? X, if you're talking about X, the platform, that's private. But if you talk about U.S. Steel, that ticker symbol is actually X. You can get some energy exposure with there's a ticker XLE, which is an energy ETF. XLE. If I say things quickly, if somebody can write them in the chat, that helps. That way, because someone usually comes back and they'll ask me to repeat it, and give me 2 minutes. I'll forget what I said 2 minutes ago. It's a mix between being like in the moment. I'm a very focused person, but at the same time, I'm 53, and you know how it is. You get 53, you start forgetting stuff. I'd be like, why did I come down to the kitchen again? I forgot there's food here, so it must have something to do with food. So that's me. That's my life. That's the life of a 53-year-old college professor. College professors are already absent-minded anyway. I think getting older just makes you more absent-minded. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is let you guys know, remind you that the estate planning club is meeting tonight actually. And that is where we get together with experts that can help us to plan our legacy, plan our future. So if you want to join our estate planning group, it's Legacy Investors for Tomorrow, LIFT for short, Legacy Investors for Tomorrow. So if you're interested in planning your estate, looking at things like the insurance policies, the trust, the wills, all these other things that allow you to transfer the generational wealth, feel free to go to drboycelift.com, and you can join us. And also, if you have kids or grandkids and you want your grandkids to get ahead financially, we have really good financial flashcards. I have some right here. Like, for example, our entrepreneurship flashcards are really cool. Like we define terms like, what is a startup? A startup is an entrepreneurial venture, which is typically a newly emerged, fast-growing business that aims to meet a marketplace need by developing a viable business model around an innovative product. What is debt? Debt is money borrowed by one party from another, which is used by many companies and individuals as a method of making large purchases. We talk about what is a minimum viable product. They call that MVP. That's where you make a product, you test it out, and then you go and you reinvest if it works. You don't just pour all your money into the product. That'll save you a lot of money when you start a business. Is remember, MVP, minimum viable product. What is seed capital? Well, seed capital matters because a lot of businesses can't get off the ground if they don't have any seed capital. What is a joint venture? What is a business plan? What is an incubator? What is venture capital? What is valuation? So these terms get defined because I think our kids are the best and they need to have the best. And so we manufacture Black privilege up in here. Privilege is something that you earn and you work for. And so if you want to take a look at our flashcards for kids, feel free to go to financialflashcards.com, or our overall store is drboycebooks.com. So I'll put that URL on the screen so you guys can go and take a look if you want to. And also, we also have a Black Wealth Ambassadors program where if you like what you see and you want to buy our stuff cheap and sell it to people and start a business from that, that's fine too. You can start a family or get an investment club at your church and offer the products to people that join the club, right? So you can make money for yourself, and it supports the Black Business School. We are worldwide. We have almost 1 billion views on YouTube. We have millions of followers on various platforms, and we have about 200,000 students inside the school. So we're doing a real good job working with our PhDs and attorneys and experts to really create something amazing. So feel free to go to drboycebooks.com and take a look. All right, so have a good day, everybody. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. And I will see you all in class. If you're coming to our morning economic elevation class, I will see you then as well. So have a good day, everybody. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Peace.